have something really cool for you today. You're going to love this. We're going to talk about the Mayan calendar because it's not over with. What happened on December 21st, 2012? Everybody's freaking out the end of the Mayan calendar. I'm going to tell you exactly what it means. It's very simple. And we're going to talk about the different years, my prediction for 2021, as I shared with you months ago. And we're going to talk about what you can expect that I think is going to be very exciting for you. Ready to go? Let's go. Welcome to Landria Onkka on YouTube. Here to help you break through the fears, live an amazing life. Are we ever going to break 100,000 subscribers as of this video? We're going to do it this year. I'm getting serious. Okay, we're going to talk about my predictions that I shared with you prior. This is the great thing about video, prior to anything happening. We're going to talk about the Mayan calendar. We're going to talk about my downloads and something that I found out today that I want to share with you. I like to share my downloads with you first and then investigate things second, so that I'm not influenced in a way that I'm not aware of. If you've been following me for a while, you know that in 2018, I predicted that 2019 was going to be a transition period. A transition period meaning a lot of stuff was going to happen and that we're going to transition into things, meaning it was going to be real rocky, a lot of decisions to make. We had electronics going out and people's job changes and all kinds of just strange things. Do you remember that? So at the end of 2019, I named 2020 the year of transformation. And I said, buckle up, we were going to go into something really serious. And I didn't know what it was, but I knew something big was going to happen. And sure enough, we know what happened. So 2020, the year of transformation. I am naming 2021 the year of expansion. And I'm going to talk to you about the Mayan calendar, which backs up what I'm feeling and thinking. Transition was making a lot of decisions. Transformation last year, I'm talking about 2020, I'm hoping that you did the work, because there's tests out there. So this is what we're going through. Transformation means that we're going to go through big changes. And so if you see that as a negative, then you're not getting that this is your biggest, amazing opportunity to transform into everything you've ever wanted. And you can talk about that world out there, but I'm telling you right now, if you see it differently, you can control your own life and your own thoughts and how you react to everything. Now let's talk about the Mayan calendar and how that relates. Are you ready for this? This is going to be really cool. I think you're going to love it. I'm going to talk to you about my prediction first. Transformation means all kinds of things have to dissolve that aren't working. And when we choose higher thoughts, vibrations, frequencies, all these things, and we choose to become, let's just say, the amazing spiritual loving beings that we are, all the things that were happening out here, how we were functioning, have to dissolve. That's all you're seeing right now. And so all the things that we have done are coming back in our face, including this global challenge we've been on. It's in our face that how we're functioning isn't working, how we treat our animals, our food, each other, everything. And then when we go through these transformational situations, we are allowed to choose how we react and operate within them. So if you're in there arguing and opposing, it's no different than we've been functioning for centuries, forever. Transformation is a choice for you. So if you used this whole year to make some changes and say, you know what? There are great opportunities for amazing change in every area of your life, including money, relationships, all of it. It was an opportunity. It's not too late. It's not too late, all right? Because I'm going to share something with you, and we're going to talk about the Mayan calendar and how it coincides with my prediction. 2021 is the year of expansion. And you may say, what? Okay, how is that? If you use 2020 to shift over into something amazing, to let go of judgment, I'm right, you're right, naming yourself, I'm a Muslim, I'm a Christian, we are all one amazing light, and we must come together. If you're using this as opportunity to become something amazing, you will start to transition into the new earth, the great awakening, which is what's happening. So what's going to happen in 2021 for you, and again, everyone can go into this higher space. 2021 is the year of expansion. In other words, we're going to expand out into all the areas that we've been holding back. We're in our little box in our major. We're going to start to expand out. We're going to start to create new ways of learning. We're going to learn new things and educate ourselves in a way that we used to criticize all the time. We're going to break through how we do that. We're going to start working and earning money in ways that is positive for the planet and other people, not negative. We're going to stop criticizing everything out there and start creating and expanding. Only if you choose to go into that higher realm. Now, here's what happened. I got to look this up because I got to get this year right. So the Mayan base date, the calendar, the base date, was the start of a long cycle, which they called the Great Cycle. It was, I got to get the years right, 5,125 years of a great cycle. What was that? Why did the Mayan calendar end? It was the end of the Great Cycle. Here's the best part. 12/21/12, it ended. So what happens at the end of the Great Cycle? A second cycle begins. And on that date, the end of the Great First Cycle ended. And we started into the second cycle. Now that was 8-9 years ago, right? Have you noticed since 2012, we have really gone through a lot of shifts in a much more accelerated way. So here's what's happening. We are in the cycle, and I told you, we've been going into the Great Awakening for years, few years now. It's much more prevalent, and it's accelerating. We are in the second cycle, the cycle of change and expansion. So this isn't just a year for me. 2021, the year begins for me, the year of expansion, because we've had a lot of stuff going on to push us into that, and all of it is personal decisions. All right? You can participate in your frequency in any way you want. Now, I did my little video on, think of us all in one big, huge building with different floors. And each floor is independent. So you won't know what's happening on that top floor. You may think that your world is in the cellar with mold and, feces. That may be all you ever know. And until you raise your frequency, you can't get on that elevator and push the button. Push the button. You can't do that. You push the button because you don't want to touch it to go up to a higher frequency. So as you raise your frequency, you get to go on each floor, but you're still not aware of what's on the other floors or who's there. That's how it works. That's how your life works. That's why people say, well, wait a second. All these things are going on. I'm like, no. When you go to a higher frequency, you're going into the golden era, that era of expansion. You're now going out to that expansive area. You're going to the higher floors, so you're seeing things differently. It's not that it's not happening, because we're participating in a collective where everybody is making choices, and we're part of that. That energy field isn't separate from me. I'm just not participating in it, okay? Does this make sense? So, do you want to go to the penthouse with me and drink champagne? The view is amazing up there, and the people are amazing, and so a lower frequency would never go up there. And they won't, we're not going to see them. We're not going to even, communicate with them. Now, here's what somebody asked me. If I know something's going on in a company, it's wrong and blah, 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 should I do anything? This is definitely expansion, and that includes action. Now, we're going to go into, I'm going to say it. I'm going to say it right now. 2022 is going to be a year of action. I'm going to give it a nicer name than that. It's going to be a year of action. This is the year of expansion. So you're going to go out into that world and say, okay, how can I change everything? By the way, knowledge is king. This is why this is why I promote the heck out of this. You get training in areas so that you can get tools to use for your businesses, for picking and choosing products and services that you know are better for the planet, for coaching, to, expanding out. So get the information, get the knowledge, get the tools, start to take your action, but expand into it. So 2021 is that next era. We're now 9 years into it. The Mayan calendar is another phase. Year 2 is we went through the worst of the worst. We, believe it or not, we are now in that second era of amazing change, which, as you know, is taking us into a golden era. We're not in the golden era yet. Some people say we're in the golden era. We're actually not into it. We're transitioning into. The golden era is when the planet really transitions. And we'll still have all kinds of challenges, but it's going to be more prevalently a golden era than it is a destructive one. The things that we do right now to our planet, the products, the things that we all accept as normal every day, will never be allowed. We look to the higher ups in control. We look to all of these, organizations, and we blame them, and that's ending. The blame's ending. Expansion is when we say, okay, what is this? How is this structure in place? We have to support it for it to be there. So how are we going to change that? I am going to be the positive change that says, what's a solution? What's another way to do things? And yes, speak up. Now, I told the person who asked me, well, what do I do? Nothing? I mean, because I'm a peaceful person. No, this is me. You know me, I'm very proactive. But there's always a cause and effect. Be ready for that. What I'm telling people is, be a warrior, a peaceful warrior. I don't even like that word, warrior, but be the peaceful warrior that goes and says, this isn't okay. I'm going to speak up. Because it takes a big kahunas to do that in some situations. So you have to ask yourself if you're willing to do that. If not, band your people together who are going to say, we're not accepting this anymore, but do everything in peace, everything in positive expansion, all positive, and that means no opposition. So standing up for something and calling something out is not the kind of opposition I'm talking about. It is a statement of a higher frequency. Does this make sense? Okay, it's not saying, we're going to do this and burning buildings down and flipping, cars over. I'm not talking about that. And yes, sometimes we have to go to radical things. I would like to see us not go into that space anymore because it just fuels other destructive behavior. It's time to change it. It's time to stop using the stuff. It's time to create something new. Expansion is creating solutions. It's creating new stuff because just opposing makes no sense. You have to have something else to go to, right? You have to have organic, happy foods to go to stop eating the crap because we have to eat. This is how it works. And the Mayan calendar ended because we're going into the transition, the transformation, the expansion to the golden era. It's happening. And by the way, these next few years, they're going to go like that. It's not going to be so terrible. And I want you to know that whatever you're seeing out there is the dissolving of things that can possibly work. The economy every 10 years shouldn't tank. It should never. What? How's that possible? Because it's structured in a way that is not balanced. So blame no one. Quit arguing with one another. Somebody thought that, I voted for a certain person. First of all, it's nobody's effing business who I voted for. I didn't vote. I have my own opinion about that, and I'm not going to share it. But if somebody comes to you and says you're not spiritual because you voted for somebody or you do something, they're not spiritual. So this has to end, this opposition, and you're good in this if you abide by my rules. Throw them out the effing window, okay? Spiritual butt kick. There are no rules. Law of attraction, law of this. Guess what? Everything's possible. We're here playing a role. It is time to expand that. Mayan calendar ended the first great era, the first great cycle. We're in the second one. Woo-wee! Yeah, pretty cool, huh? All right, you guys, come on over. I'm really going to promote the heck out of this now. We have an amazing platform. It's mentorship. It's training people how to create online businesses. It's an education system, and you can use it to create anything. And you don't have to have any products or services, no background of whatsoever in technology. It's school. You're going to learn it. You're going to be with amazing, spiritual, wonderful people. No, not we're not going to be, all lovey-dovey. We're going to go in there and learn, okay? And the intentions of the students in there are on a higher frequency. We have people that are doing amazing things with this training, and you can do it too. Expansion. If this isn't your thing, go find something. Go down in the description. Come on over to landriaonkka.com. Start taking some of my courses and my master classes. I'm showing you how to go into the miracle space. Miracle space is different than just training yourself for manifesting. It's now going into that super high frequency. How do you connect to that? So the Miracle Circle, every month I host it and I announce it. If you're in my Manifest Anything list, you get the announcement and a discount. It's very inexpensive. I think it's like under $50, right? Plus you get a discount on top. You spend a couple hours with me. We have a meditation. I give you practices, and then you get access to the replay and practices and the meditation unlimited. Because I want you to be able to go back and say, okay, I'm great, and now it's not working again. Oh yeah, oops. We've got to deprogram ourselves. It's going to take work. That's expansion. Are you ready for this? I'm excited. I think it's going to be an amazing year. 2021 is going to blow the doors off of everything. You're going to see a lot of crap happening out there. You're going to say, whew, it's finally dissolving. It wasn't working. What's going to go in place? You know what's going to go in place? Whatever we support. So something can't be put in place that's a lower frequency if we don't accept it. Be the solution, be the expansion. Go in peace, my friend. You are whole, perfect, strong, powerful, loving, harmonious, and happy. You ready? Are you ready? Woo, 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 woo. Do I need more coffee? No, I don't think so. This is me without coffee, by the way. Blessings, my friend. Let's do it. Namaste.